James Carter, a soldier from Cedar Hollow, served in Iraq and fixed cars at home. Emily Harper, a single mum, kept his secret from childhood. Hi everyone, welcome to Life Unveiled. Let's get started. Cedar Hollow was a small American town where white brick homes nestled among greenery, and the river beyond the hills mirrored fiery sunsets. Here lived James Carter, a 38-year-old soldier back on rotation from an Iraqi base. With a short buzz cut, steady eyes, and a slight limp from a blast overseas, he rarely spoke of his past. At home, he worked as a mechanic at Miller's auto shop, his hands, trained on military Humvees, reviving old Chevys and Fords with ease. James wasn't just a mechanic, he was a pillar of Cedar Hollow. When someone's car broke down before a big trip or a tractor stalled mid-field, everyone knew. James wouldn't say no, even if it meant working past midnight. Emily Harper, a 32-year-old cashier at the local grocery store, was another heartbeat of the town. A single mum to 6-year-old Noah, she lived in a modest house with peeling paint, but always greeted customers with a smile, even when they griped about rising bread prices. Her father had been pals with James, and she remembered him from childhood. A tall guy in an army jacket joking with her dad over a beer. But James had a secret, something Emily stumbled upon years ago, overhearing a hushed talk in the garage. She caught only fragments, something about war, duty, and can't tell anyone, and kept it to herself, honoring his silence. It tied her to him in a way she couldn't quite name. Everything shifted when Miller's auto shop was bought by Apex Auto Solutions. It wasn't the first time big companies eyed Cedar Hollow, but this time they brought not promises of growth, but a chilling efficiency. New rules hit the shop fast, fewer breaks, strict quotas, and pressure to upsell customers on pointless repairs. James, a man of honest work, winced when Greg Dalton, the new regional manager with slick hair and a fake grin, pushed for better numbers. "People trust us, Greg," James said once, wiping his hands on a rag. "We can't rip them off." Greg smirked. "This is business, Carter, not charity." James gritted his teeth and carried on. The job mattered. His military pay went to his widowed sister Kate, raising 2 kids alone. And the mortgage on his modest Cedar Hollow home didn't pay itself. He bristled as Greg praised younger hires who bent to every demand for a bonus. But one chilly October day in 2024, Apex's patience, not James's, ran out. Greg summoned him to the office, now decked with sleek computers and charts. "We're downsizing," he said, eyes on his papers. "Not James. We need flexible people. You're out." Worse, James later learned his file had been doctored with fake performance issues and customer complaints to dodge severance. For a soldier built on discipline and truth, it was a knife in the back. Word spread through Cedar Hollow faster than the scent of fresh bread from the bakery. At the grocery store, Emily overheard customers buzzing between the canned goods aisles. "They fired James. He fixed Bill's tractor in a thunderstorm, knee-deep in mud," huffed Mrs. Clayton, grabbing soup. "Those Apex outsiders think they can play us," grumbled old Hank, a fishing vet and gossip pro. Emily listened, her stomach tightening with anger. She remembered James staying late to fix her beat-up Toyota when Noah was sick, refusing payment with a quiet, "Kids come first." Now this man, who'd bailed out so many, was holed up at home, betrayed. Emily saw the change in James. He stopped dropping by Tom's diner for morning coffee and spent days in his garage, tinkering with a rusty Ford that hadn't run in a decade. Neighbors whispered he'd become a shadow, tall but hunched, eyes weary. Emily couldn't stand it. One evening after her shift, she grabbed Noah's hand and marched to his door. It creaked open slowly, and James, in a stained tee with oil-streaked hands, waved her off. "Em, I don't need pity." She stepped forward. "We're not here for pity, we're here for justice." Emily got to work. She quizzed James's old co-workers at the shop. They swore he was the best, and no complaints ever existed. She stayed up nights, scouring Apex reviews online, finding tales of other workers shafted with forged records. She even called her friend Marge at the County Labour Board, who pointed her to key leads. Apex had a history of bending rules to ditch problem employees and skip payouts. Emily brought her notes to James, but he shook his head. They've got money, lawyers, power. I'm one guy, Em. What's the point? She met his gaze. You're not one guy. You're part of this town. Emily rallied a crew. Tom, the diner owner who'd known James since they were teens, jumped in. That guy fixed my truck in a blizzard. I'm with you. Sarah, a retired teacher with a sharp mind and a love for details, dug up a state labour law Apex had breached by not giving James proper notice. Even Noah pitched in, scribbling a bold, "Bring back Mr. Carter" sign in red and blue crayons. Tom, with a buddy at the county paper, set up a meeting with a reporter. They gathered evidence, old shift logs, client testimonies, even a photo of James at work someone found in the town archives. In December, the story broke. Soldier fired for honesty, corporation versus Cedar Hollow. The reporter laid it bare, how Apex screwed James, how the town fought back. Locals flooded X with tales. James fixing the school bus in pouring rain, teaching kids to change oil, staying up all night so a farmer could save his crop. The hashtag Justice for Carter took off, and soon customers boycotted Apex. A farmer ditched their service, growling, "I'll walk before they get my money." Nearby towns joined in, and a city lawyer, moved by the story, offered free help. James didn't believe it'd work at first. He sat in his garage, staring at the Ford, thinking it was all for nothing. But every day, someone stopped by. A neighbour with a pie, a word of encouragement, or just a chat. One morning, Tom barged in with the newspaper, jabbing the headline. "See, we're getting them." James grunted, but something stirred in his chest. Hope, faint but real, for the first time in months. By February 2025, Apex buckled. Their PR team drowned in angry emails, and the boycott hit their bottom line. They caved. James got his job back, full back pay, and a public apology on their site. Greg Dalton quit quietly and slunk out of town, leaving rumours in his wake. The day James returned to the shop, Cedar Hollow threw a bash at Tom's diner. Tables groaned with pies, coffee flowed, and kids ran with balloons. Emily stood by James as Noah handed him a drawing, a soldier with a wrench. James, throat tight, muttered, "Didn't expect all this fuss." But his eyes said more. Gratitude he couldn't voice. The town exhaled. The shop hummed again, and James's old Ford finally roared to life. He'd fixed it at last. Emily, watching, knew his secret. Whatever it was, didn't matter. What counted was what he'd done for them, and what they'd done for him. James and Emily's story proves injustice is a shadow that fades when people shine a light together. One person might falter against lies and power, but a community, friends, neighbours, even a kid with crayons, can turn the tide. Honesty and unity always find a way, even if the past stays buried.
If you enjoyed the story, drop a like and subscribe for more tales like this. Hit the bell, and we'll catch you in the next one.